This multi-million-dollar company was about to go completely bankrupt and disappear forever. I'm not even joking. In early 1997, the World Wrestling Federation, the biggest wrestling company on Earth, was literally dying. The money was gone, their biggest stars were leaving, and their number one rival, WCW, was about to put them out of business for good. The WWF was getting absolutely destroyed in a war for viewers. Every single week, millions of people were changing the channel to watch their competition. The company that literally defined wrestling for an entire generation was about to become a memory. But what if I told you that one match, a single 25-minute fight, changed everything? What if I told you that in one of the most insane and bloody matches the company had ever seen, a hero would become a villain would become a legend, and a dying company would be saved from extinction? You are not going to believe this story. This is how one match between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't just steal the show, it saved the entire WWF. To understand just how crazy this is, you have to see how bad things were for the WWF. The Monday Night War was happening, and the WWF was getting crushed. Over on another channel, WCW's show, Monday Nitro, was a monster. It was getting insane TV ratings, while the WWF show, Monday Night Raw, couldn't keep up. For every 2 people watching Raw, it felt like 5 were watching Nitro. It was a complete slaughter. And the reason was simple. WCW felt real. The NWO, a group led by the ultimate hero-turned-villain Hulk Hogan, was the coolest thing on TV. Seeing Hogan, the guy who told you to eat your vitamins, spray painting a championship belt was mind-blowing. All of the WWF's biggest stars were jumping over to WCW. It was a hostile takeover. Meanwhile, the WWF just felt old. Their family-friendly show felt like something from a different decade. And on top of that, they were broke. A huge scandal had cost them millions of dollars when they were already losing money. The owner, Vince McMahon, even admitted the company was in great financial peril. The WWF wasn't in a slump, it was on life support. At the center of this story are 2 guys who could not be more different. First, you have Bret the Hitman Hart. This guy was the perfect hero. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. He was a legend known for his incredible skill and his honor. He was the champion everyone looked up to. But in 1997, his good guy act was starting to get really stale, and for the first time ever, fans were starting to boo him. And on the other side, you have this guy, Stone Cold Steve Austin. If Bret Hart was the system, Steve Austin was here to smash it. Austin was actually fired from WCW because they said he wasn't marketable. Can you believe that? He came to the WWF and was finally unleashed. He cut a promo that changed everything. Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass." And just like that, a star was born. Stone Cold was not a hero. He was a beer-drinking, foul-mouthed rebel who attacked his boss. Technically, he was a bad guy, but the crowds were starting to cheer for him like crazy. He was the future, and he was about to collide with the past. The feud between Bret and Austin had been building for months, and it was perfect. It started at Survivor Series, where Bret got a lucky win, but the match proved Austin was a huge deal. Then, at the Royal Rumble, things got insane. Austin got thrown out of the ring, but the referees didn't see it, so he just slid back in, threw Bret out, and won the whole thing. Bret was furious. He had been cheated, and he completely lost his mind. The feud got even hotter when Bret won the WWF title, only for Austin to make him lose it the very next night. This led to one of the wildest moments of the 90s. Bret stormed to the ring, shoved his own boss, Vince McMahon, to the ground, and screamed about how he kept getting screwed. The hero was gone. The stage was now set for WrestleMania 13. Hart versus Austin in a submission match. No rules. The only way to win was to make the other guy say, "I quit." This was about to get crazy. March 23rd, 1997. The arena was electric. And to make it even more intense, the special guest referee was a UFC champion, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. This was going to be a fight. The entrances told you everything. Bret Hart, the hero, walked out and got a mix of cheers and loud boos. The bell rang and it was pure chaos. They fought everywhere, inside the ring, outside the ring, and deep into the stands. It was an absolute brawl. But then, Bret Hart, the hero, started doing things a villain would do. He grabbed a steel chair and tried to destroy Austin's leg. This wasn't the hero anyone knew. This was brutal. Austin, the rebel, just took all the punishment and kept fighting back. Then came the moment that would define an entire generation. Austin got a huge cut on his forehead, and blood started pouring down his face. Keep in mind, blood was banned in the WWF at the time. Bret had reportedly convinced Austin they needed this to make the story work. The climax of the match was insane. Bret locked in his famous finisher, the sharpshooter. This was it. Everyone knew it was over. The camera zoomed in on Austin's face, covered in a mask of blood, screaming in pain, and created the single greatest image in wrestling history. He refused to quit. He tried to power out before his body went completely limp. Steve Austin passed out from the pain and blood loss. He never gave up. The referee stopped the match. Bret Hart won, but the story had just begun. That picture of a bloody Steve Austin passed out in the sharpshooter is burned into the brain of every wrestling fan. And the story only gets crazier from here. If you're enjoying this video, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. It helps us make more insane videos like this. Okay, so the match is over, but its real impact was about to hit. In a normal match, the story ends at the bell. Not this one. Bret Hart, the winner, didn't let go. He stared at the booing crowd and kept hurting the unconscious Austin. He then got up and started kicking him. The hero had become a complete monster. The crowd's reaction was insane. The boos were deafening. They hated him. Ken Shamrock had to literally tackle Bret to get him away from Austin. Then came the moment a revolution started. Back in the ring, a defeated Steve Austin began to move. The referees tried to help him up, but he shoved them away. He refused their help. The crowd, seeing this unbelievable toughness, started chanting his name. Austin! 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 He limped out of the ring on his own 2 feet, to a standing ovation bigger than any king had ever received. It was the most famous double turn in history. In one single match, Bret Hart, the biggest good guy, became the most hated villain, and Steve Austin, the bad guy, became the biggest hero in the entire industry. The shockwaves from this match were immediate and absolutely massive. For Vince McMahon, this match was proof that the audience wanted something new. They didn't want old-school heroes, they wanted Stone Cold Steve Austin. This match was the big bang of the Attitude Era. It gave the WWF a brand new identity built around Austin. Austin's popularity didn't just grow, it exploded. The Austin 316 t-shirt became the best-selling shirt in company history. His insane rise led to the greatest storyline wrestling has. In 1998, Monday Night Raw finally beat WCW Nitro in the ratings for the first time in 84 weeks. It was a victory WCW would never recover from. The WWF was back on top. As for Bret Hart, he played his part perfectly, sacrificing his good guy legacy to create a new, unstoppable star. He literally laid the first brick for the new WWF empire. In early 1997, the World Wrestling Federation was facing total failure and was about to go out of business. It was an empire on the ropes. But on March 23rd, 2 men stepped into a ring and didn't just have a match. They painted a violent and perfect masterpiece. The fight between Bret Hart and Steve Austin gave the WWF everything it needed to survive. It gave them their new creative direction, the Attitude Era, that would lead to their historic comeback. And it gave them the weapon they needed to win the Monday Night War and become the billion-dollar giant they are today. Without this one bloody, unforgettable match, modern wrestling would not exist. There would be no Stone Cold, no Mr. McMahon feud, and there probably wouldn't be a WWE. It's more than just a classic. It is, without a doubt, the single most important match in the history of the company. What do you think? Is this the greatest and most important match of all time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.